have the wonderful pleasure to be speaking with Matthew Balousek.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say it right?
Yes.
Matthew Balousek is a current DANM student here at UCSC. DANM being my favorite program, having gone through it, the Digital Arts and New Media program. And he is a part of a pretty large group, I guess, that is called, I'm trying to remember from my memory, what's the name of your group?
We're in the Playable Media group.
Right, but the name of the event that's happening this Saturday, the October 22nd?
Yes, so it's the Santa Cruz Retreat for Analog Play.
And you are doing this event at the Arboretum, and it's an extraordinary event because it is where people can come and make a board game or make a card game or a crafty game or a role-playing game or a physical game. Basically, this is a day for game creation, analog day for creation.
Yes, analog games.
And we say analog because it's not digital.
Yes. So yeah, like there's this huge tradition of digital games, but we are specifically saying like let's make analog games without our computers mostly.
And so my dear Anna Rose, who is co-hosting the show, she was wondering how do you begin looking at the world through game dynamics?
So yeah, games are my favorite definition of games is that games are systems of rules that create experiences. So
systems of rules that create experience. Mm-hmm. And there's a very long history, not a long history, but let's say 100-year history of theorists arguing what is the definition of game. And I know some of them can be very long, and some of them can be very short, such as if it's fun.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like the F word.
No fun in my game.
Can we say that on radio? Is that okay?
It's allowed. There's our FCC rules you can't say. So yeah, fun. You don't like fun games?
I mean, I like fun games, but fun is it's like
what does it mean?
It's like it's like if you go to like Home Depot and you're like, hey, I want some red paint, and like the person behind the counter like looks behind them and stares at this like huge wall of like various shades of red, and it's like,
okay,
yeah,
which red, dog?
Right, yeah.
Right.
So fun is like such a vague term, so we like to narrow that down to like more specific experiences.
Okay, and now we are joined by the great Heather Logas. Heather, thank you so much for coming in.
Hi, so sorry to be
you're perfect.
Late.
You're perfect, Heather.
Thanks.
And Heather is also a graduate of the DANM program.
Yes.
And she has an amazing company that she has started called Space for Play. And she does consulting. Now, dig this, folks. If you've got a startup that you want to do, Heather will take you through your startup and create a board game only special to you. Like it's a unique board game using game dynamics and applied to your startup idea. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. And I work with more established small businesses as well. Help them with their business challenges.
Yeah, and you can look at anything.
Yeah,
almost.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this comes from being educated in design thinking.
Right. So, educated in design thinking, and then also I have a long history making board games and analog games, and digital games for that matter. But, started making board games when I was about 10, and have found that I believe you can literally make a game out of absolutely anything, and it's a great way to look closely at systems.
Yeah, so spaceforplay.com is where people can go and get more information on Heather's work, and then you can also go to scrap-game.edu. Is that correct? No,
the edu is
.org. I'm sorry. Scrap-games.org. And the reason I'm sending y'all there, if you're not driving, of course, is because that's where you can get more information about this Saturday's Santa Cruz Retreat for analog play. Make games, make friends, and build community, folks. And it's free and open to the public at the beautiful UC Arboretum, just here on, that's up, tell us, Anna Rose.
Yeah, it'll be up Empire Grade on the right before the west entrance of UCSC.
Yeah, and so you all are going to be able to come out for the entire day and make a board game or a card game or a crafty game or a role-playing game or a physical game or guess what, even a sports game. Everything is open. And you have a group of people, Matthew, that tell us who all is a part of this scrap team.
So the organizers this year are myself and Heather, as well as Melanie Dickinson, Stacy Mason, and Jonathan Pagnuti and Ben Spalding.
So some of these people are, almost all of them are graduate students, is that correct? Or Stacy's still here at the...
No.
Stacy is?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She's getting her PhD in game design here in computer
science, yeah.
In computer science.
Yeah.
And then you say that this year, has there been this in the past?
Yep, the first one was last year, and the first one was organized by myself and Stacy Mason and Swinky Kiai.
And tell us, how did it go last year?
It went really well last year. We really did pull it together pretty quickly in a pretty scrappy manner. But it went well. We had somewhere around 30 people, and it was a really great day, really fun. And people made all kinds of games, huge range. And so we're hoping to have an even bigger event this year. And we're really excited about it.
Excellent. Can you remember some of the games that were like some of your favorites that popped up, that emerged from this event?
Yeah, I remember we tried to make a really giant cat's cradle string game using about 20 people or something. It sort of worked. But it was really fun to participate in and really fun to watch.
It's fun just imagining it.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point, is it's not about producing some beautiful polished thing at the end. It's really about experimentation and learning what you can do with the game medium. And it's a great opportunity for people who maybe haven't really tried making games before to give it a shot. And there's no prizes. It's really low key and really designed to be very welcoming to everybody, to families and students and anyone in the community who's interested.
So Heather Logas is here today talking to us about the Santa Cruz Retreat for Analog Play. She's also joined by Matthew. He has a fabulous last name, Balousek. And tell us again, Matthew, tell us your name again.
Oh, Matthew Balousek.
And Matthew is a Danum student. Mm-hmm. Are you first year or second year?
I am in my second year, unfortunately.
Second year. Mm-hmm. This is it.
The final countdown.
I hope to have you back in the spring to tell us about your...
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. Of course.
It's a tough program, folks.
Amazing thesis project.
Oh yeah, you want to tell us quick?
Sure. So I'm looking at. I'm actually doing analog games for my thesis project. So I'm looking at how to inscribe queer ideologies into game systems. Nice.
Now, Heather has some experience with that because I believe you had a game experience as a part of your thesis.
Yes, my thesis was also focused on analog games, although it took a different tack. It was more about making games with people and helping people experience what you can do in the game medium.
Would you mind just telling us what you can do in the game medium?
Take it away, Heather.
Everything.
Well, you started with looking at things systemically. What does that mean?
Okay, so looking at things systemically just means that when you're thinking about systems, you're thinking about how lots of little parts and lots of little things in motion combine to create some effect. So one very simple example is just a zipper. So a zipper is a system. It's made of, the little teeth, and then you have the pull thing, and when it functions well, it gives you the effect that you want, which is zipping up your jacket. So when you understand how systems work, for example, you understand that when a zipper is stuck, it's not for some arbitrary magical reason. It's because, there's a fabric caught in the wrong place or something like that. You can actually then pause and make a change to what's happening and make the zipper work better. So you can extrapolate that out to other systems if we have a better idea of how other systems work, such as, our healthcare system, or how supply chains work, or, our political systems. Then it's all about figuring out how you can look at things from the perspective of what all those tiny little parts are doing and what behaviors they cause when they're working together, and then intervening in such a way that you can change the parts around, change how they're working, and which will then give you a different effect. So that's kind of the core of systems thinking. And my MFA thesis project, I provided a really large, like a 5 by 5 foot whiteboard, and which was a table, in the format of a table. And people came and they had prompts they used to make games out of. Like make a game about making coffee, or make a game about washing hair, things that were very kind of day-to-day operations, to encourage them to see those things as systems and what all the components were.
So what do you think about the gamification of life? Matthew, he shuddered in the corner there.
I heard that word out in the lobby, and I was like, "Oh God!" No.
Gamification is a loaded word.
The dark arts of.
It is a loaded word. So what's really been funny as I've been on my journey as an entrepreneur who's working with games, is I wind up hearing this word so much, because people assume that's what I'm doing, and what we usually mean by gamification is we're just giving things point structures, and we're giving you medals if you binge watch a show on Netflix, or there are certain apps and software I use in my life that are giving me awards for doing things that are actually things I don't want to be doing, like I'm embarrassed about. I think I did literally get one from some video program that was like, hey, congratulations, you stayed up late every night this week and watched this show. It's like, that's terrible. I didn't even want to know that. But the premise behind gamification is that by giving people points and having them work towards rewards, even virtual rewards, that it's triggering parts of their brain that make them want to seek out the rewards, and so they're more likely to be involved in, get involved in whatever your product is and want to stick with it.
So it's a capitalistic ploy.
Yeah, kind of. And the reason why game makers get so annoyed is because, I'll speak for myself, but games are, to me, just a really magical medium, and they can evoke so much power and so much emotion and so much, different ways of looking at things, when your brain working different ways, that it feels gross, kind of, to say something is gamification, and you're really just taking these tiny little things that we use in games and, distilling it all down for these not very productive goals.
Yeah. Matthew. All right, Heather. Matthew, do you have anything?
I think there are like use cases of that thing which we were talking about. Can you say the word? I can't.
Gamification.
Yeah, that thing. Thank you. Sorry, I don't want to. I just brushed my teeth, so. It is sort of like it has like the like appearance, it has the facade of games, but more often than not, it's not necessarily about these things. So I think my favorite example is like there's like an ATM or something that it's like, hey, if you make like 2 deposits today, you'll get like a badge, and it's like that badge doesn't mean anything. But it's like, we want you to do this thing. So it's like, it's kind of like, here's a gold, I'll give you a gold star if you eat all your vegetables. It's like, okay, but that's not really, it's like, let's make a game out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not really a game.
So you're listening to Matthew Balousek and Heather Logas. They're talking about a fabulous event that's happening this Saturday, October 22nd. That's right, Dave. Folks, it's the day of analog game creation at the UCSC Arboretum up on Empire Grade before the West entrance. This is Scrap, the Santa Cruz retreat for analog play. They're asking you to come out, make games, make friends, and build community. This is free and open to the public. What time does it start at? 10 a.m. That's the right time. The event starts at 10 a.m. and it goes all day to 5 p.m. There's even free parking, folks, next to the building, and they'll have some libations, some coffee and bagels and snacks. But you are recommending that people pack a lunch. You're inviting them to come and stay.
Yeah. It's a drop-in event. You can come in anytime that you want to, and we do recommend packing a lunch if you are going to be there for a while or you think you might be there for a while. We will have some snacks, but it won't be convenient to run to any, lunch places.
Yeah, because you're up there.
Yeah.
Again, this is Santa Cruz Retreat for Analog Play. For more information, you go to scrap-games.org. You can also see Heather's incredible local business, spaceforplay.com. Spaceforplay.com. If you ever thought about having a startup and you're not sure quite where to begin, Heather can really help you look at the entire system and all of the different details within that system that make up your business or your vision of a business. I want to thank you, Matthew, for coming into the station. Of course, I hope to see you again in the spring, where we do our annual yearly Dynamite interview series, where we get to talk to all of the graduating Dynamites and talk about what they've been working on, and then we get to go see it at their fabulous exhibition. Heather Logas, thank you for your work, especially here in our community, and thanks for coming up.